From Clarkwoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 207. I'm Chris.
And I'm Steve.
And I'm Chris.
You don't need to tell them that twice.
And I'm Steve.
We should have Ryan on again soon.
We should. You just want to have Ryan on to get rid of me, right?
No,
I think that's what it is. I think the truth is that everybody loves Ryan, and I love Ryan too. I just think that what will happen.
Well, he has a little baby, so it's harder for him to do stuff.
Okay,
and not that we've asked him.
Fair enough. But I think people, especially if we mic'd him properly, unlike last time.
Yeah, it would be.
I think people would be like, you know what? He is more interesting than Chris. We should just have a Stephen Ryan show. I
mean, I don't think. I think people would miss you, Chris, as much as you slag on yourself.
I don't know. I mean, this is. I was talking with. I had to explain to my therapist. I don't know if it was this week or the week before. She had me do a form ahead of time, and I had to explain
the podcast.
And no, I don't think we've gotten there yet. We're going really slow, actually. We're kind of like taking it slow because I told
me
her,
and my brother used to fight over Ninja Turtle toys.
We have talked about that.
Oh wow.
Well, she got. I forget what we got in the first session, but we had two sessions this week coming up. I'm going on vacation camping, so that it'll be a couple weeks between sessions this time. But she was really interested in diving into the family tree, so to speak, and talking
in your relationships,
my
within
relationships
your family,
within my family, and so we did get to talking about the room that I shared with my brother. And talking about things that we wanted to, how he needed to have things that were his, and I needed to have things that were mine. I think Ninja Turtles were his, to be honest. So I think if
you had He-Man, or
no, he had He-Man.
Okay, he had He-Man and Ninja Turtles.
I'm pretty sure. I think
you were a little bit older than us.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think I was laying claim to new toys and new things by the time Ninja Turtles came out.
Yeah, because that was like 1989, 1990.
Yeah, I liked Ninja Turtles, but if we fought over them, then I was in the wrong, because Ninja Turtles were definitely in my brother's domain, and I should apologize to him if I ever tried to claim otherwise.
Okay, well,
you know what we did have to share relatively later in it might have. When did the first Game Boy come out?
Around the same time, 1990, 91.
Yeah, so when we got a Game Boy, my mom got us one, and we had to share it. And
Ding!
Yeah, and I think eventually it sort of more became John's. But at the beginning there, we had to share a Game Boy.
Well, I think you got aggravated because you were self-professed bad at video games.
I am bad at video games still.
No,
to
but
this
like
day.
you have to listen to what Penn Jillette says, and like you have to practice for 10,000 hours on something to get really good at it.
I don't have 10,000 hours to practice at video games. I don't think I even have 10,000 hours left in my life.
I mean, one of these days I'm going to get there with pinball. So
okay. Well, see, I mean, I think I'm trying to get there with writing, with writing and reading and watching movies. That's where I'm trying to put my 10,000 hours in.
Watching movies does not make you better at watching movies.
I would disagree with that. I think watching movies makes you better at watching movies and appreciating how movies are made and the stories that are going on there.
Okay, but like
especially when, like me, you watch the same movies over and over and over again.
No, but like if you it's a difference between watching a movie and studying a film.
Okay. So
like you could say you're a film buff and have watched lots of shitty movies.
Okay, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I study movies. I study movies.
You study.
I study the Marvel movies. I study the Disney movies.
Chasing Amy.
Not anymore. I'm done studying the work of Kevin Smith.
Oh, okay.
I just actually deleted a bunch of my movies of his that I owned on DVD once upon a time and had ripped, and I was just like, no, I don't need him anymore.
That's kind of a bummer, because like Clerks, like
it's not just that, it's that
you don't have the space on your.
No, what it is that I'm kind of I'm getting everything in high def if I can, and if I so no, I still have. Do I still? can't remember what I did with Zack and Miri, or anything that I bought in iTunes I kept. And I think all the Kevin Smith movies I did not buy in iTunes, or I did not buy a version with the digital copy. And so my theory is if I want to watch them again, I'm either going to just rent them in high def, or I'm going to buy them again. I don't need.
You just love giving away your money, don't you? I mean, I'm not. I've never been a proponent of illegal downloads, and I don't know why. Like most of the people that I associate with, and I've been complicit in supporting them in their
illegal download.
Yeah, I've benefited from it, but I've never personally done it.
Yeah, I believe I've done it here
Actually,
and there.
That's sort of untrue. I may have ripped a couple of ROMs back in the day.
Yeah. Well, see, I mean, the ones right now, in terms of anything I've done in the last however many years, have been things that I could not legally purchase anywhere else. So, for instance, I was trying to collect all of the
Pokemon.
You got to collect them all. Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying. You got to get them all. Catch them all. Catch them all.
Did you ever notice that Cloyster kind of looks like a vagina and a clit?
I had never noticed that. I should look that up.
Look it up.
Cloyster looks like a vagina and a clit. All right.
No, you don't need to do it right now.
No. I'm not going to. That's why this is not connected to the internet. Cloyster, Pokemon, vagina, clitoris. Because I can't just write clit in there. I have to be. What was I trying to say?
I don't know.
Before Pokemon. Oh, the only things that I've pirated, so to speak, in recent years have been things that I could not get legally in any way. So I wanted to get all of the Disney animated features, all 50 something of them that there are.
Especially
at this
point. Song of the South.
And that's not one of them. That's not considered one of the 57 or 8 canonical movies. I think because it's mostly live action, it might have some other stuff in it, but it's not. Like Mary Poppins is not considered one of the 50 animated classics, even though it has a big animated section. So there were 2 movies, Melody Time and Make Mine Music, which are not available at all on on any digital platform to purchase. So I did have to find those. And for a little while, my copy of Lady and the Tramp was one that was illegally obtained because that couldn't be purchased. But the moment that it could be purchased, I deleted the one that I'd obtained illegally, and I bought the copy.
You know, you're admitting to...
I'm admitting...
Like specific illegal things that Disney, if they ever, stumbled
But I'm
upon.
also admitting that the moment that I could buy it legally, I deleted the one that I had.
No, they're gonna bring it back out of the vault, so you gotta buy it again on 4K Blu-ray.
No, that's not the way that it works. Everything now.
Oh, we brought it back out of the vault. That doesn't have a dick on the cover.
That one actually is one of the ones that's not available right now. Is The Little Mermaid. I don't know when the last time it was available through iTunes or something like that, but it's not available for sale right now. So it's the one of the more recent movies. The last 30 years or so that I cannot obtain. But next year, 2019, is the 30th anniversary of
So they'll have the 30th extra dicks version.
Yes. One dick for every one of Ariel and her sisters.
Yes.
Yeah. That's not right. I mean, you think they're all of age, right? They're all...
No,
I mean,
I think she was like 16.
Well, okay. So no dick for Ariel, but I think the rest of them were adults, at least adults in the mer people world. I mean, because in Harry Potter, in the wizarding world, 17 is when you're an adult.
Let's like in the United States, or in most areas of the United States, it's 18, and folks out there listening, stick to that.
Yes, absolutely. No, I was trying to make sure that my joke was not going to get me fired by Disney.
You don't work for Disney.
That's true. The Marvel people are trying to get him hired back. Deadline reported that Kevin Feige and the Marvel people are trying to get Disney to rehire James Gunn. So far, it seems like they've gotten them to decide to keep James Gunn's script because Dave Bautista said he's not doing it if they don't at least use the script. I think that's that's an interesting half measure, but I think they gotta rehire him.
But if they use the script, that means they're going to have to pay him anyways, so they might as well just fucking rehire him as the director.
Yeah, well. So yeah, I mean, I don't.
You love that corporation.
I do love that corporation. I mean, for all its faults, I think they're. I think that the content that they put out. I'm not saying that the business people are good people, but the people who make the stuff there, I think, are very, very talented. I think I saw a Wreck-It Ralph preview. Sorry, Ralph Wrecks the Internet. No, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Whatever the fuck it's called.
There's a scene in the trailer that talks about that.
But there's a newer trailer, or not a full trailer, but a newer sort of scene or look behind that just came out, and it shows Gal Gadot, who made her name on the Fast and the Furious and is now Wonder Woman, but she's playing.
I was going to say she was in Fast and the Furious.
I think so. I think it's one of the places where she came up. But her character, I think, in that franchise is dead, as I understand it. But in this, Ralph Wrecks the Internet, she is playing a race car driver who's going to compete with Vanellope, who, of course, in the first one was a race car driver. So you got that. There's also all the Disney princesses show up in a room with Vanellope. Vanellope convinces them all to dress comfortably for once in their lives instead of in these ridiculous outfits that they are always prancing around in. And so they're all sitting around comfy-like, and it cuts to Merida from Brave speaking in a thick Scottish accent, and they joke around about how they can't understand her because she's from the other studio. I think they are having fun poking fun at themselves. The creators, they're hiring good people who are able to do interesting things with the properties. But then the problem is when you hire interesting people tend to have interesting pasts. And if you're not prepared to deal with their interesting pasts, then I don't know. Let's talk about something else, Steve.
You have an interesting past. I mean, you paid for an internet site.
I did, and I still technically.
Did you talk to your therapist about that?
I have not. No, we haven't gotten into
sexy time yet.
Into sexy time, no.
Is it a male or a female therapist?
Female therapist.
Okay.
Yeah, she has not asked me any questions about that. We've been talking a lot about my dad and my relationship with my dad.
You want to regurgitate, see if I have similar advice?
I don't think she's necessarily given me any advice yet. It's more been me.
Or well, if I repeat similar things that But she might have said.
I'm just going to go ahead and say, Steve, that I don't think there's a patient doctor confidentiality when we talk about something on a podcast.
Yeah, especially when it's on a podcast. But I don't think anybody in your family listens to the podcast.
I don't think so. No.
And if they did, they're not going to go, hey, guess what Chris said on the podcast, Earl.
No,
you don't have to freaking.
I don't know.
The
funny thing is I can't. If I'm not in that room and I'm not in the moment, I'm not able to talk too much. I was talking mainly. Here's an example. I was talking about a time within the last week or so where I was working from home, and the kids were downstairs, and my dad. Part of my dad's voice is triggering for me. There's a certain segment of his register, so to speak, like when he gets to a certain level of volume or a certain tone, it triggers in me this sort of I'm in trouble, yelling is about to happen, deep-seated kid stuff. When in fact, that same tone of voice these days is usually him playfully getting mad because everyone expects that he's the mad one.
Yeah.
Right?
Because he often was mad.
Right. And so in that same way that Disney is now able to poke fun at itself with Ralph Wrecks the Internet, my dad is poking fun at the image of himself to the kids by pretending to get mad for a second and then laughing with them about something, right? But for me, the result is that I hear only not the content of what he's saying, but the tone of what he's saying, and I tense up and feel like I need to go down and make sure that my kids aren't causing trouble, because if they're causing trouble, that means that I'm causing trouble. It means that I'm trouble and I'm bad. And
it really takes away from you getting work done.
Steve, would you like to? No,
Nope.
they can just imagine.
I will let the audience assume what I just did with my voice there. I also did a hand gesture.
Yes, it looked like a very pleasant hand gesture. Is that how you do it for yourself?
What?
The way that you were just doing it?
Yes, my dick is this big.
And it bends that way.
It bends all the way over to here.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you got it in your eye that one time.
It was almost in my eye. It got on my glasses.
Because that's the type of porn that you're into.
What, glasses?
Yeah, I think there's a whole, I don't know if it's an official subcategory on Who's It's, on like Pornhub or something like that. But I think ejaculation on glasses is an actual fetish.
Well, I mean, I imagine the ladies appreciate it because like they're getting less in their eyes.
I suppose. But do you think those are the real glasses?
I doubt it.
I know.
Do you want to call them up?
But it seems like such a weird... Is it because we all secretly wanted our librarian growing up? Like, is that what the fetish comes from? Like, why like that? It usually seems to be tied in with something like that. You've got a slightly nerdy and or very intelligent looking woman. She gets naked, but she keeps her glasses on because the glasses make you think, oh, I'm jerking it to the very smart lady at the office who who I would otherwise have no chance with because I'm a barbarian who watches internet porn.
Yep. And
yep, and that is the new form of improv. Yep, and you don't even not even yes and yep and.
So we it's really funny. We went to a pinball tournament the other night, and Becky. There's a picture on the website of the people who were in the finals, which were myself. I came in fourth out of the four people.
Okay, well,
which is my lot in life.
But you made it to the finals.
I made it to the finals. So out of the four of us, it was myself. Chuck Webster, who owns a bunch of machines, and he has the Wicked Pissa Pinball Pit up in Wakefield, Mass. And then Derek, he lives up in New Hampshire. He came down, and there's a funny thing on the internet that Becky showed me. Like, he's like, "I'd like to come down for this, but there's no parking." And then Mitch, the guy who owns the machines and was running the event, goes. Yeah, there's not any parking except for the huge parking lot behind the venue. And then it just started. And then the other person that was participating in the finals and who won, unsurprisingly, was Bowen. Okay. And I think he said, I was going to stop by, but there was no parking. And then Mitch was like, it's bring your own parking.
Bring your own parking.
At Trina's Starlight in Amesbury.
I've been to Amesbury. I drive past Amesbury. No, wait, we're not going to drive past Amesbury tomorrow because we're going to Vermont instead of Maine. Are
you going to go stop at Ben and Jerry's?
I would like to. I don't know if that's in the cards or not.
I mean, you're a person like I have to live vicariously through people eating sweets.
Yeah.
So. I mean, if you were near there, you should stop.
Yeah, I really want to. We've been talking about it for the last couple of years when we've been in New Hampshire camping, and we said, well, we drive, we'll be in the center of fucking New Hampshire, so everything is a long drive. And I was like, why don't we just get in the car and do a long drive to Awesome Ice Cream? And I'd always get not voted down. But
why would that get voted down?
I think they just don't want to. They don't like to drive. But now. My sister.
If they didn't like to drive, then they should have went to fucking Florida.
Well, it's more than I was gonna say. That part of the family probably wouldn't vote me down anymore, but the rest of the extended family, on my wife's side, I think doesn't like to drive, as evidenced by the fact that they never fucking visit us in Massachusetts or in New Hampshire. When we were in New Hampshire, I think they visited us when the children were born, and that was about it.
All right, so here's my
we haven't gotten to that part of the family tree in therapy.
Are you gonna be like, is it going to be that far out of the way for you to maybe take a smaller group
to go
get ice cream? Like, everybody doesn't need to fucking come along, Chris.
This is true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
If you want ice cream, you're going to be like, you know what?
I'm going to
Fuck
get
all you.
fucking Ben and Jerry's.
I'm going
man.
to Ben and Jerry's, and I'm gonna visit the flavor graveyard, and I'm gonna eat some of these flavors that I can't really get in the stores.
Now, the flavor graveyard, are they like expired? Are you like taking it into your life into your own hands? You think?
No. It's the literal, like, they just have headstones in the back, in like the back area, and it's just flavors that they retired.
Okay, so you can't actually get the flavors.
No, you can't get there's some, like, I think there's one called Coffee Buzz, which is coffee ice cream, but it has like extra caffeine in it.
Ooh.
So that is one of the flavors I think you can only get at their flagship area, their flagship like.
And I know
factory.
there are some. There was a company event. The university had a truck down our little side street a few weeks ago, and there was a flavor that they had there in the truck that they don't have over in Harvard Square, because I had it and I was like, this is amazing. And I said, do you have this over at the store? And they're like, nope, it's only here in the truck.
Well, they might have it up
They
there.
might have it up there in VT.
So what was the flavor?
I don't remember. It was delish.
But okay, so the final picture of the four of us, and well, Becky was still around, so she got in the picture too.
Okay.
And she's holding the trophy and with a big thumbs up.
Oh.
And then one of the other people that participated earlier and had left, like, was like, "Congrats, Becky, on winning."
Oh, she was stealing valor. That's what she was doing.
No, but it was funny because, like, you know, and Chuck, one of the other people, he kept on putting Becky's name whenever he got a high score. And he goes, Becky has the high score of Guardians of the Galaxy.
No shit. Oh, all right. What is the Guardians of the Galaxy machine like?
It's pretty cool.
Is it? Yeah. No, they haven't fired James Gunn from the Guardians of the Galaxy pinball machine.
Well, I mean, they're using clips from the first movie, so I don't think it's possible.
Okay. You know what else they're doing? This was interesting to me. Is they are doing the end at the very end of August, very beginning of July. Very beginning of September. Around Labor Day weekend, they are doing an IMAX Marvel movie marathon over the course of 4 nights. I think it's 4 nights or 5 nights.
Wow, are you gonna go, man?
No, because I can't. I have a job and children, and I would love to go, but they're doing all the movies in IMAX. I think it's either 4 a night or 5. I think it's 4 a night, which would mean 5 nights. That can't be right. Maybe it's 5 a night, and it's over the course of 4 nights. But it's a pretty good lineup. You know, to
all of them.
Well, the places that they broke, I think, were it was interesting. It's like that would be a pretty good night. So they've got them in order over the course of, I think it's 4 nights, and then they've got a night that's all origin stories, and then they've got a night that's all team ups, and then the final night is going to be. I don't know what it's going to be, viewer's choice, something like that. But they're not.
So only Iron Man 3 all night because it's everyone's fucking favorite.
Oh, it's so fucking weird to me. I saw somebody make a. I don't regularly visit Reddit. That's not a place that I want to spend a lot of time.
Well, I mean, it depends on what Reddit thread you go. If you go to like the homepage, and you could fall into like the dregs of society really quickly. Yeah. But if you go to your favorite thing,
yes, your favorite subreddit,
like r/One
Marvel
Piece
Studios,
yeah, like.
Yes, then it can be pleasant.
Right.
I was over there the other day, and I saw somebody making the case that I think, have made, but they were going one step further. They're like, that Iron Man 3 is the least essential movie in the entire 20 movies to see, because it has no ties to anything else in the whole rest of the cinematic universe. And I was like, damn straight. Been trying to say that for years. It's not a Marvel movie. I mean,
it is a Marvel movie, but it's just because it's not connected to the other films doesn't make it like bad. Like a film that can stand on its own is actually a good thing,
right? Yeah. So we would make the case that it's not a good film.
Well, right? I just like, out of the 3 of them, it's my least favorite.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
I actually like number 2 the most.
I'm right there with you. I think number 2 is the most enjoyable on a consistent basis, and number one is just. It's the one that started it all.
Number 1, I order you to take a number 2. Oh, there's news about Patrick Stewart.
I saw. That's. Is it exciting?
Yeah, I'm like we've been rewatching. Well, I've been rewatching. Becky's been watching TNG.
Okay,
and so there's going to be another series or something.
Something with
Sir
Patrick in it.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, I would like to see him do that again. I don't know, that whole franchise, like the DC franchise, it's all messed up, and I don't think they know. It's like Terminator and all of these ones that are just. I wish they could get their shit together. Like, what am I supposed to do if I'm watching the Terminator movies? Like, there's all these different ways that I could watch them, and I think eventually what it's going to be is I'm supposed to watch number 1 and number 2, and I'm supposed to watch this new one that they're coming out with and skip all the other ones in between. And
I wish I had that not picture, but that sound clip of what's his butt screaming no, like he was in that like the prequel one where like they were in like Terminator Salvation.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's his butt? That was in American Psycho.
Christian Bale.
Yeah, he was screaming at somebody like on set. And oh my god! And he's just like he was like. No! It's just so fucking loud.
But the thing is, like, they don't seem to know what the fuck they're doing with that in the same way that, like, Star Trek doesn't seem to know what the fuck they're doing. They had these 3 or 4 series, including leading up to, I think Enterprise would probably be included with that. So what you had original series, Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, and then Enterprise, right? So 5. You get like these 5 series plus the original movies up through probably the next gen movies could all kind of be lumped in there. Then they try to reboot it on the movie side, and they have one really good movie, another one that's divisive, and then one that everyone forgets even came out.
Yeah, I never saw the third one.
I never saw the third one either. And now I read headlines this morning saying that they might, if they're doing a 4th one, they might not be able to get Chris Pine or Chris Hemsworth back in it because of contract problems. I'm like, so great, you're going to try to make another one without Kirk. Like, who's gonna be the fucking cat?
Maybe don't make the fucking movie. Make it a different Star Trek movie. Make it like with somebody else.
And now they're trying on their fucking CBS or Paramount or whatever the fuck thing there is to do an original another fucking TV show. And me as a
they already did it. Like it already exists.
They've done like have they done 1 season or 2 seasons?
Yeah, Star Trek Discovery, I think it's called.
What the fuck am I? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Where does it fit into all of this big mess? I don't get it.
And then the guys at Red Letter Media have talked about it because Mike's is a crazy like Star Trek guy, and
I'm sorry, Mike.
Yeah, and he sort of likes the series that just came out, but sort of doesn't. Yeah. And then what's the one with fucking Seth MacFarlane that he like, the Wilbur or something?
Orville? No,
the Orville. Yeah,
the Orville. Okay.
Yeah, and so it's he says that is better. And it's making fun, or it's not making fun, but it's parodying,
right,
like a space drama.
Yeah.
But it's funny in the right places, but it's also a cool show anyways.
Right.
So he's like, that is doing Star Trek better than Star Trek is doing Star Trek right now.
Yeah. And it's these things that try to extend continuity over long periods of time and do it poorly. It's because I'm a Marvel fan. I think they've done it well, and they've done it well for 10 years. Somebody knows how to do it. And the fact that none of these other... I understand that doing it and doing it well could be hard, but they can't decide what the fuck they want to do.
I think the problem is that people, and I'm going to lump you in here with this, is people like things that they already know.
Yes.
But then when it comes to a thing that they already know being released, they don't like it because it wasn't as good as it used to be.
Okay, I will I will.
So when
accept
something
being
new
lumped-
comes out, like that is remarkably better, people ignore it because it doesn't have a stamp of Marvel or Disney or fucking Star Trek.
So you're not
or
talking about like I was gonna bring up the 2008 or 2009 Star Trek as an example of. Like, I didn't know what to think about all of that because I'd been burnt out on Star Trek, but I said I'll give it a try. It seems new, seems like a new spin on things, and I really like
Star Wars or whatever. You could have a if you made a movie and didn't call it Star Wars, and then wrote it, and so it doesn't have to be in this fucking
this universe.
You could make space drama, and it doesn't have to be Star Trek or Star Wars or Star whatever. Like something like fucking Ice Pirates, like back in the 80s. That fucking movie was nuts, and it was good.
I don't remember that. I remember it, but I remember seeing it, but I don't remember anything about it.
It was space herpes.
And I know that I'm guilty of it because, like, I heard good things about what the hell is it actually called? They remarketed it as Live, Die, Repeat. It was Tom Cruise and what's her butt? Emily Blunt, maybe? I don't know. And it was The Edge of Tomorrow. Maybe was what it was called. I heard great things about it.
Standing on the edge of tomorrow.
Today. All right, so
we're going back to Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell first, just a second.
See, that's another fucking. Oh, we got this property, Saved by the Bell, with all these characters that people love that were on, like, after school.
Yeah.
Let's do a primetime show with those same characters.
Yes.
Because these kids are growing up that watch this. They're gonna want to watch.
For sure they
what
are.
happens when Zach Morris and Screech go to fucking college.
I did watch
instead of having original fucking thought.
I did watch every episode of that show for a while.
Well, because you didn't need to watch it for very long.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like me trying to watch every episode of the Caveman Show.
Oh no! So my Melody, I think Kaylee too, to a certain extent. They're watching this show. I don't know if it's on Netflix or YouTube or what it's on, but it has Tiffany Amber Thiessen in it.
Kelly
Kapowski.
Yeah.
She's a mom in this show.
And
mom to like an 11 or 12-year-old who has cancer.
Oh, no.
But it's a comedy still. It's about a kid dealing. I think the kid's either in remission or whatever, but the kid she has to shave her head at some point and whatever. So it's cute. It's whatever. And I happened to be listening in to one of the episodes
and it was
a couple
just
of days ago.
Like just schmaltz.
Well, yes, it's not anything that I would be able to sit down and watch with them. It's something that I feel comfortable with them watching. It's just not. It's not a full family movie. It's like a kids show. At any rate, Kelly Kapowski, whatever her name is on this actual show, starts talking about having dated this football player in high school named Zach, and she had started with an M. And she couldn't remember it, and it was this just really lame joke that was obviously for the 3 or 4 parents who
Zach didn't play football, did he?
No, he didn't. But or maybe
if she was going to do the football player, I think AC Slater was the one that played.
Yeah, I think the writers were being fucking lazy. But yeah, so
look at your source material if you're going to make a shitty reference.
A real Saved by the Bell fan would know this shit.
Yeah.
So anyway,
well, she went along with the fucking line, so she's just as complicit.
Yeah, I think Tiffany. I don't think she uses the Amber anymore. I think it might be Tiffany Thiessen.
Okay.
I think Tiffany Thiessen, Mrs. Thiessen, Miss Thiessen.
Well, it'd be Miss because how does that work if you keep your old name but you are married?
I don't know how that works.
I don't know if she's married or not, but
I don't know if she's married either.
But if she is, but she kept her maiden name, then. Let's just call that person Mrs.?
Let's just be safe and call her Dr. Thiessen.
Okay.
Let's give her a PhD, that even if she maybe did not earn it, because I think having been on Saved by the Bell for that many years qualifies you.
Some colleges give an honorary doctorate, so maybe she got one.
She got one for tolerating.
I know they gave one to Dennis Leary, your best friend.
He's not my best. I just happen to like a particular comedy special where he ripped off Bill Hicks. I just, it's...
You mean all of his comedy specials? His entire fucking persona?
Yeah. He was one of the few parts of the Amazing Spider-Man reboot, the one that had Peter Parker as a skateboarder. Leary played Captain Stacy.
Which was Gwen Stacy's
dad.
father. Okay.
Yeah, and he was one of the bright spots of those movies.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm okay. I'm okay with Dennis Leary and his comedy, but like, if Bill Hicks was still around, I don't think Dennis Leary would have made as much impact as he did.
No, probably not. I mean, he was an asshole at the right time.
Don't make Brian fast forward.
Does Brian fast forward
when you do Dennis Leary bits?
Okay,
yes.
I'm not Brian, I'm sorry. I did
that
not
15-second button.
I did not do it. I will not do it. I did not realize. Or maybe I did realize and I forgot. No, I was just going to say he was a man for the right moment.
Yes.
Right? In a way that maybe Hicks wasn't.
Well, Hicks died. He was about to, like, I think, just like Patrice, like he was about to like really hit.
Yeah.
Like Patrice, no matter how many times he shot himself in the foot, he was about to become like a household name. Like, cause like I think Mr. P or Elephant in the Room like were really good specials.
Yeah.
And like he was like despite like burning almost every bridge that he ever walked on,
right?
Like he was gonna make it, and then he fucking had a stroke.
Yeah. I knew proof positive of that. I knew more of Patrice at the time than I knew of Hicks at the time when Hicks died. Like, well, I knew Patrice's
Hicks
name.
At the time he died was when we were still in high school, junior high or high school. So
whereas like just a year or two later, or whenever it was that No Cure for Cancer came out, like I knew Leary's name. I didn't know Hicks, but Patrice, I wasn't following comedy, but I knew. I knew who he was.
I mean, you associate with me, so I would have said something about it.
Yeah. It's a shame when people are struck down when they're about to.
It's cool that it's cool. Bill Burr, I think it's usually around February, does like a memorial comedy show up in New York or whatever, and gets some of Patrice's friends and some of the people that were inspired that he inspired, and then they do a comedy show for free, and then they give the proceeds to Patrice's family, and good stuff.
Makes you wish you could go back in time. I mean, if you could go back in time and go back to specific points in your life, maybe like I'm trying really hard to transition to the one thing that's on our list.
Oh.
Like if you could go back in time to a specific point in your life and maybe do things differently. Not all the way back, because that would suck if you had to start from the womb.
I would be like that's if you reset the game.
Right, yeah.
Like you would have to start back. But the thing is, like,
I guess you never really do start from the womb in a video game. That would be interesting. Like, the game starts and it's a shot of a woman's spread open legs and you pop. Oh, no, wait. Is it first person? So it's first person. It's all dark. And then gradually you start to pop out and you're, like, staring up.
Well, yeah, I don't think babies
clitoris.
can really see so well when they're first born.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, all right. So maybe
you weren't looking at your mom's cloister.
All right. So yeah, I guess you don't start from birth, but you start. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so
I was playing Symphony the other night before we started the show, and I was like trying to get to a save point before we started recording.
Right.
And I got there, and then it's weird to think if you would have to know, and you'd have to have a tent or something just to save.
But I think if you'd lived through enough dumb shit, you would start to know. Okay, this needs to be a save point, right? Like I think our country would love to have a save point like in no. Like
I think before that.
I
think sometime in the summer.
Sometime in the summer of 2016, that would have been where we'd have the save point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Before the RNC, before the convention. You think?
I don't know. When was that?
Oh, maybe I don't know when. It was in the summer, but
it was probably back when people were saying there's no chance he could get elected.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, where else in your life would you want to have a save point?
I don't know, like, because I think I'm happy where I am right now.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to say.
At this, like, if you asked me, 4 years ago
when we started the show,
yeah, like right when we started the show, I might have had a like an answer to that question, but right now I don't.
Yeah,
because I'm happy. We have a house. We get married.
Yeah, I am too. Like I honestly,
and then having to go back and wait for X amount of time to pass to get to the next One Piece chapter would be fucking brutal for me. If I had to wait all the way until like the week of August, was it 13th? Like. For chapter 914, I would be fucking bonkers.
I'm thinking of a movie called About Time, which features Bill Weasley and one of the girls from Mean Girls. And he and his dad are able, and all the men in their family are able to travel back in time by stepping into a closet and thinking about the particular time that they want to travel back to. And what he ends up realizing over the course of the film is every time he ends up traveling back, if he does one thing differently, he screws up the whole timeline.
Right. Which is the same as, like, I think it was an old Twilight Zone and an episode of the Treehouse of Horror from The Simpsons.
Yeah. So it's dangerous to think about, like, if you're pretty happy, why would you want to go back to the save point? Because you might
all right, no, but like
up.
If you go back to that save point, you have to do everything over.
Right.
Like, it's not like you can just zip back.
But could you set up a save point now, right? Do you have multiple save points, or do you have only one?
You can have multiple save points, and
right.
You can go back to a previous save, like in a game. Like, I mean, if we're talking about this is a thing that could actually
this is a thing that could actually happen. Yeah.
You just have to have enough space on your memory card.
Okay, so. Right. So let's assume we have enough space on our memory card for 3 save points. 3 is a good number.
Okay.
Like, so
it's the magic number.
So right now would be one of your save points, because it's possible that you could go back and you could fuck everything up, right?
And why would right now, in the middle of this conversation, be one of my save points?
Because
I would have started the episode over.
All right, so
we never had this conversation, and
you
never got into my head.
You got to come right back to this point, because everything right now is hunky dory. Right?
Yeah.
So right now is one of your 3. What are your other 2 save points? So you could go back and see, could I tweak this just a little bit and still end up at the same point on August 11th at 3:10 p.m. 2018? Like, where are the other 2 parts where you'd be like, maybe let's see if I could go back and change a few things but keep the main thrust of everything the
I don't
same.
know, Chris. How about I gave you one
Okay.
right now for me. What's yours?
Right now would be yours?
Let's just say, like, right now, just in case.
Okay, so mine...
Or maybe a couple of months ago. Maybe, like, just so, I could... No, I don't even know if
I'm going to say...
I don't want to get all depressing. So
No. But I'm going to say, just as an example of trying... Well, I'm going to say the... when would it have been? So somewhere in, like, late 2004, early 2005, when Stephanie and I had, or maybe even, like, I think it was 2007 when we refinanced, somewhere around there, where we could have gotten out of our house and not lost any money and gone and moved into an apartment or something smaller or whatever. I would love to see what would have happened if we had sold before the big crash and not been stuck in that house until 2015. I would like to see what would have happened.
Well, I mean,
I think the bad thing...
Would both of your kids have been born?
I think Kaylee for sure would have been born. I think the trouble is, if you went back and changed anything from around that period, there's the possibility that no, let's see. No, Melody still would have, because if I think about my job, right, my job would stay the same, I think. So my job would stay the same, which means I would get insurance both times to cover the IVF, and so both kids would still be born.
Yeah, but if you went back to before your second daughter was born, then there's a distinct possibility you might have a different kid.
Because of what, the butterfly effect?
Well, it's not the butterfly effect. Like the one sperm and one egg joining together.
Well, but that's, I mean, you know, I'd like to believe that that
you would just be, you have this one magic sperm that would always produce melody every fucking time.
I would like to believe I have magic sperm. That's, I mean, I wasn't the only person involved. So I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you're hitting upon what the problem with the whole thing is. That's
so
why
basically,
that's why
if
we
you
have,
go back to that point, you're saying I don't love my kid.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if I also had right now as a save point,
not tomorrow,
and I could live those few years and see what happened, and go, you know what? Nope, this sucks. Take me back to the original.
Take me back to the podcast where we're mid-conversation about talking about going back to the past,
right.
And you're in an endless fucking loop of talking about it and doing it.
No, because then I'd be like, you know what, Steve, I don't want to do it. That's maybe I did just do the loop and I came right back right now and I just said it because I went through and I did my saves, and because I don't want to break the timelines, I can't tell you that I just did it. But I'm back now and I'm saying I don't want to do it anymore.
Maybe this has already happened. Maybe somebody figured it out, and this is why we're in the darkest timeline.
Oh, because
like that you're because Biff is the president.
Well, or maybe it's because if we changed that, we would have gone back all the way back to like a ways ago, and it's that my kid, who would have been erased if I fucked with the timeline, maybe she's going to be the savior of the world. She's going to be the first female president or some such shit. And if we changed
it would suck if we had to wait another fucking
yes.
How old is she now?
She's 8, so we'd have to wait just shy of 30 years, like 27 years or so,
something like that. Yeah. Before she can even run.
Yes. Well, you remember I did I ever talk about this? So way back. Around the time of the, would it have been the John Kerry W. Bush election? Probably around there.
So like 2004?
Yeah, something like that.
Same time frame that you're talking about, with your house and whatever?
Yeah, or maybe it was even, at any point, I put up a joke website. My friend John Martin came over, shot some pictures of me in a suit and tie, and we put up a joke website called earlforamerica.com.
But you weren't 35 at the time.
No, but what it was is it was saying that I was running. It was I was starting to fundraise for my campaign in 2008. Would it have been?
When did you turn 35?
No, it would have been 2000.
I think I turned 35 in 2014.
Okay, so it would have been the 2012 election.
Yeah.
It would have been the 2012 election. So it was Earl for America, and I was running for president in 2012 because I would have, although throughout the entire primary season, I wouldn't have been old enough. By the time
by October, you would have been able.
So a month after that would have been the election, but of course we had Barry, so you
didn't need to.
I didn't need to, but I should have run. I should have run in 16, man. What the world needs, another white man. And
you know what? Like, I'm all right with a white man that's not a piece of shit.
All right, I gave you one, so you don't have any save points you would have in your life. Just for
mine was gonna go down a depressing route, so I'm not gonna fucking do it.
Okay. All right, so let's take the save.
I'm gonna try to keep this fucking light.
Let's take the save points out of it. If there were any place in time where you could go to see, let's say, a comedy show, let's say a comedian that you've never gotten to see, whether they existed in your lifetime or not, what time frame, what comedian would you go back in time to see their set?
I mean, like, if I could just travel there and then come back to now,
right?
I would go and see Carlin, I think, in the mid-90s.
Okay.
Which is something I should have done.
Right. It's something you could have done.
I could have done it, and I should have done it, but I didn't. And so I I really didn't start. Like, I think it was because of Bill and Ted's and his weird acting stuff. That I was just I don't know. I didn't realize how epically funny and like just smart of a man he was.
Same here.
Until, I think the late or mid to that. Well, maybe a little bit before that, but like mid 2000s,
closer to the end of his life. Was
and so and I should have gone to see him while he was still alive, while I was interested, but I didn't. Like a fucking dunce.
But that would be good. That's a good. I did not mean. I was trying to get it. I was not trying to keep it light, but. I don't know who I would go because I'm not as huge a fan. I think I would probably do something similar. I'd love to have seen Carlin. Now I can still see Patton Oswalt, but
have you?
I don't. No, I've never seen him.
You should. That should be something that's on your fucking bucket list there. Yeah.
Bucko. My bucket list. Bucko's bucket list.
No, that's not the name of the show.
I only have one thing written down. We have less than 10 minutes left. Cloyster, Pokemon, Vagina, Clitoris. That's what I have written
That is not a fucking show title.
I know, but I don't have any other titles. We got to come up with something.
I thought that is not a fucking show title.
It's not a fucking title. I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know.
You're going to have to listen to the whole show then. Find another. I think I might have made another joke about Cloyster later that was, I think, a little bit more concise and didn't. Your
mom's Cloyster.
Yeah, your mom's Cloyster. There we go.
There we go. Your mom's Cloyster. That's right.
It's not as explicit. And.
Yeah, I don't see. And this is what one of my upcoming writing projects is about. Is time travel and wanting to go back. Because I'm morbid, I would love to go back and go back to some of the times from my family's history to be an observer and some of these times that I really wonder about, including one time when my great I don't know if it's 3 or 4 greats grandfather drowned at sea off the coast of Provincetown. I would love to see if I could rescue him, but then that would screw up the timeline.
Yeah, like immensely, so much so that you probably wouldn't be born.
So
that's why, if you were time traveling in any story or anything, you cannot travel before you were born, or else you might not be.
Right. I would love to see. Well, that's kind of one of the things that I'm dealing with in the story is that you can't really change anything. And what that means if I'm still figuring it all out. But I would love to see what happened. And not that I want to see somebody that I'm related to drown at sea, but all we know is that his foot, boot, and stocking floated ashore at some point, later in the month of November or early December. What the fuck was it a shark?
You should just write a song about it and put it to the tune of the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and it'll be just as chipper of a tune.
I'd also like to go and meet my my grandmother's parents. I would love to meet them. They seem like fun individuals who dealt with a lot of tragic shit, but if you got them on if I got to go hang out with them and drink with them for a night, I think that would be fun.
But you're not much of a drinker.
I know, but I would drink some of my great grandfather's moonshine. Sure enough,
moonshine is gross.
I know. We were watching Booze Traveler last night. Booze Traveler. Okay. Booze Traveler, which is a guy from Southie who goes. I think it's on the Travel Channel. It's a dude from Southie who goes all over the world and tries different.
And he's like, dude, I fucking drank this fucking whiskey and it's great. Boston.
You're not that far.
Is he wearing a fucking Sox hat? And he's like, fucking Tom Brady's the best quarterback.
I don't. I think he might have had his cap turned around. It might have been a Sox cap. I don't know.
I like the Celtics because they have more white people.
We're
not racist up here. I turned into Peter Griffin.
I like the Celtics because
that's too long.
No, I was just thinking of stuff for the description. No. So normally we'll sit around on pizza night, which was last night, was Friday night, and we'll watch something together. It's one of the only times all of us sit around in the living room together. Usually we eat in the dining room or we're eating separately or whatever. And we usually watch a family history show because they let me pick, and I'm a dork. But we were all out of the show we watch, so my dad was like, "Put on an episode of Booze Traveler," and so they had a few of them DVR'd, and one of them that they had DVR'd was about Hawaii, and of course Stephanie and I are suckers for anything Hawaii, so we watched it, and it was all right. Learned a little bit about Hawaiian history and a little bit about Hawaiian booze. The Mai Tai is not something that they are particularly proud of. That was invented in Oakland, as it turned out.
Just like, the buffalo wings were invented in Buffalo, New York.
Were they now?
And they're not made out of buffalo.
They're not made out of buffalo. I have never understood buffalo wings. I mean, I don't dig anything with bones in it. Like, I can't.
I contemplated going someplace in Buffalo to get wings when I was traveling to see Leo up there in Canada, but I did not.
Yeah.
Although when we got into our car accident, I was going to wait there for him in case he got deported.
Oh, God. At a wings place?
No, in Buffalo.
Oh, in Buffalo.
Because he was all freaked out because we got in the car accident. He's like, "Oh, well, my work visa only says I'm supposed to be training people to do this, but I'm actually doing this thing, so I'm like in violation, so they could deport me." And I'm like,
"Shit,
yeah, no, like I don't think the Canadians care that much."
Mm-hmm. No, those Canucks.
And it was you were working for Rob Ford, I think, at the time.
Oh, okay.
Like, you don't remember Rob Ford?
Mm-mm.
He was like cokehead mayor. I think he might have passed away.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah,
Mayor of Toronto.
I remember now. Yes, Rob Ford.
He was a booze hound, and he liked his.
Was he a booze traveler?
That's my.
That's your
my old mouth horn
guy
impression.
Yeah, that guy. I think
John Popper.
Isn't he kind of weird? Is he like a conservative douche nozzle?
I hope not. Like.
Yeah. Or maybe he's just the douche nozzle.
The world needs less of those.
It does. We could possibly like round them all up and exterminate them.
Yeah, I don't want to do that because that's like, the kind of fascism that like, is being imparted upon us.
Well, but if they're fans of that kind of thing, well, why don't we give it to them?
Chris, if I've learned anything over the last 2 years, people on the right are the worst kind of hypocrites.
Oh, well,
claim that they want free speech, but want to stifle the media. Blah 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 blah. Whatever.
So you think they would claim that they want fascism, but they don't really want fascism?
No, they are fascists, but they want their views to be the ones that are right, but they don't want people to be able to do the other things that. Just like people screaming out like you should stand for the Pledge of Allegiance because people fought in wars, and I'm like, fuck you. The whole thing about it is I have the choice to not do fucking either.
I have the choice to sit on my ass and
block my ears and sing fucking Tequila and do the Pee Wee Herman dance. Instead of fucking putting my hand on my heart.
I think the Pee Wee Herman dance would be an improvement.
And I think Tequila would be a much better fucking national anthem.
Over our well, you know what? There's a guy that I think we went to high school with him. There's a guy that I think we went to high school with. I think he might have been in the grade between you and me. So he
class of 96.
And he's a musician. And I think I follow him on Twitter. I think that's where I've seen this. And every time there's like a sporting event, and maybe it's just usually at the Super Bowl, I don't know. But he makes a point of saying that the national anthem should be, I think he says "America the Beautiful" instead of the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, well, "America the Beautiful" is a nicer song.
Yeah,
it's not about fucking war. It's like,
it's also not based on an old British drinking song.
Yeah,
right. Like it's oh, say can you see? I don't know.
Did you run out of steam? How much time?
We got a minute left.
Just 1 minute, so that's fine. We don't have to say anything else.
A minute and 5 seconds. No, but I mean, our theme song is not long enough to. We gotta get 60 minutes.
And then I played with my balls.
Oh,
add a little bit to it at the end of the fucking show.
In there.
Well, we do have the wrap up stuff where we ask you to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts as well as
on
iTunes
Uber.
or whatever fucking way you consume this program, find a way to rate us so we are more prevalent in
we
the
should make
podcasts.
T-shirts. I think we should make T-shirts.
We have T-shirts.
Well, I know, but can you buy them anywhere?
No, but
we should make a T-shirt that people can buy.
Well, the thing is about that is like we need to make. I think
we need a logo that or
no.
Or
I mean the one that Becky made was fine. Like from the logo that that you created.
Yeah. But we could have like a saying or something. There's something that somebody could have on like the front that people would laugh at, and then on the back it would say the podcast. So it's like you get them in with the chesticles, with the boobies, whatever it is that's displaying the saying, and then on the back, if somebody's laughed, they go.
We could have like a ladies' tee that says "horribly off" on one tit. Wait, this tit.
On that tit, okay.
This tit, and then topic on the other tit.
Oh, okay, horribly off top tick.
And then people will be like, "What's that? What does that say on your tits there, miss?"
It would have to be like, so it wouldn't be like you could see it straight on. So the words would have to be
they'd have to be
off
enormous
to
tits.
So what do we do for the ladies in our audience who maybe don't have bosoms as big? Do we provide like padding for the effect? I don't know.
Sure.
No, all I'm trying to say is that we get a T-shirt that has like one of our famous sayings. I don't know what saying it would have. I think we've got
one of our verbal crutches.
We got a catchphrase somewhere.
I don't think we have catchphrase. I think we have things that we say unintentionally a lot.
I think there's probably things that are like Chris don't, or like there's some version of that. That's
we
like,
know, Clark. Yes. That's not what you said though. Your students.
I know, but things that you tease me with, funny things that you say. You've got tons. You are a funny guy.
Thanks.
Just pick any random phrase that comes out of Steve's mouth, put it on a T-shirt, and we'll sell them for $20 a pop.
Wubba lubba dub dub.